Hello, creative friends. My name is Cheryl Dorsey. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Are you past the holidays or are you still celebrating? Today is Friday. I believe it's June 6th. I'm still having a hard time remembering what day it is. I got lost somewhere between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm having a hard time getting myself back on track, but it will happen, it will happen. And I hope your 2023 is off to a great start. I'm excited for this year. I want to show you how to make this card today. It's beautiful. It would work great for a Valentine card, but I just like it. I love the sentiment. It says, I love that we are friends. So we are going to get to that, but first I wanted to tell you that our new mini catalog with all our gorgeous spring items is now live. And so if you don't have a catalog, please contact me. There will be several ways to contact me down in the description below this video. So get in touch with me and I can send you one. So the items we're using today, many of them are from this catalog. So we will we'll be coming back to that in just a minute. The other thing I wanted to tell you that January and February are also celebration time. So if you don't know, celebration is when you can earn free products when your product order is $50 or $100. So there are several items in here, stamp sets and beautiful paper that you can choose for free with your order. So that's big excitement too. If you are on Facebook, I also have a Facebook page. The link to it will be down in the description as well. I am going to go live on Facebook later this afternoon and do a walkthrough of these. So even if you're watching this video later, you're like, oh, I missed it, I'm going to save it on my Facebook page so you could go back anytime and watch that if you don't have a catalog yet and you want to see what's in it. At the same time, I'm going to be showing you some of the products because I already have some of them and I'm starting to use them like today. All right, so this card we are using from the new mini catalog, the items in this suite. So we're not going to use every one of the items for this particular card, but you know, I ordered the whole suite because I know that I will be making lots of projects and I will use all the items. It's called the Country Floral Lane Suite, and it is perfect, certainly for Valentine's Day, but I'm going to be using this all spring and summer too, probably. So it comes with a stamp set and punch that I'll show you in just a moment, 2 spools of ribbon. One is real red, the other one they're calling burlap, and it looks really cool. Then you've got some adhesive-backed sequins that are in gold, petal pink, and balmy blue. And then you get 2 packs of paper. This one is 6x6 paper, and it's all gingham checks. And I love the colors in the suite. We've got sweet sorbet, balmy blue, petal pink, and mint macaron. And this paper is great, is absolutely great. You can use it on many, many projects. Then kind of the feature paper of the suite is this. I'm going to just pull this up here and see. Hopefully it focuses for you so you can see a little closer what that paper looks like. Some of the designs on the paper have hearts, so it's very Valentine-y, but many of the designs on this paper coordinate with colors or flowers, but not hearts. So it's a very versatile suite. Okay, so let's see what kind of paper materials we need to make this card. First, we need our card base, and I used Crumb cake cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. A piece of cardstock for a layer, and this is balmy blue, one of the colors that coordinates. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then we have a piece of designer series paper. This is from the 6x6 packet, the Gingham paper, and it's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Another piece, this one is from the featured designer series paper, and it has little bitty hearts on it. This is a strip that's 2 inches by 5 inches. Then for the inside of our card, we want a basic white piece of cardstock. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And finally, a little strip, and it's off the same paper, off that same gingham paper. It's 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. We're going to use another piece of designer series paper that I will show you in just a little bit. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And I think I would like to stamp first. I'm going to go ahead and do the stamping, and then we'll get going on putting the card together. So here I have just a scrap of basic white cardstock. It's about 3/4 of an inch wide, and I am going to use the Sweet Sorbet, which is one of the colors featured in the designer series paper. And I'm going to use a stamp that says, I love that we are friends. Oh, I didn't show you the stamp set. Here we go. Here's the stamp set. It's called Country Bouquet. And so there's definitely hearts. There's also a punch that comes. You can get this in a bundle with a punch, and the punch is going to punch out these hearts. It's going to punch out this little heart, and it will punch out these leaves. But there are many other things here. It has great sentiments. I love that we are friends. Happy Valentine's Day. Just wanted to say, and you could put anything with that. Just wanted to say, I love you. I think that's so sweet. This one says for you, and this one says with love. It's a great little stamp set. But today we're going to use I love that we are friends. So let me ink up my stamp. And it looks like I've got that inked up pretty good. Now, let me see if I can stamp this without bumping into my phone. Sometimes it's a tricky being able to do the video and actually do the stamping at the same time. There, I love that we are friends. And I think I pushed a little hard on it, and so it's a little juicier than I want it to be. So, you know, it's just paper. I'm going to go to the other side and do it again, because I'd like for it to be a little bit crisper than that. So here we go. Let's try that again. And that is much better. Okay. You know, I actually hadn't stamped anything today, so I should have practiced, I guess, before I came on. Here is our sentiment, and I'm going to just trim that a little bit. And actually, here's my card. I put my card aside and then couldn't find it. So I'm just going to trim this off at an angle. So let me do that, and then this piece will be ready to go. There it is. So I'll just set that aside. And the reason I laid this on here was because it's easier for me to see. When I take a piece of white cardstock and put it on something like this that's white, it's harder for me to actually see what I'm doing. So I just bring this out, put it on here, and then I can see exactly where I'm stamping. So that's a little tip for you if you sometimes have the same issue. All right, what else are we going to need here? We will need this punched out piece of crumb cake. So I just took a strip of crumb cake, and I'm going to use this punch. Let me turn it over this way. Maybe that's easier to see. All right, and I cannot remember the name of it. I think it's Lovely something, but in the description down below, I always list all the products I used. So it will be there, and you can look at that one up. So I took this piece of crumb cake cardstock, and before we started today, I ran it through my cut and emboss machine, and I used this embossing folder. It's the Gingham embossing folder, and you can find this in the annual catalog. It's one of my favorites. And I thought, hey, Gingham embossing folder, Gingham goes with gingham paper, right? So I ran it through. And if you can see the imprint there, the embossing. And now I'm just going to punch out the piece that's going to be one of my layers. And it's nice, all the lines from the gingham help me to line that up straight. And we're just going to punch that out. I'm going to set it aside. It's always dangerous when I start setting things aside because then I go to look for them and I can't find them. Does that ever happen to you? So let's keep punching now that we're punching. Here is the punch that comes in the bundle with the stamp set. You can see the large heart, the small heart, and the 2 leaves. And here's one of the fantastic things about this designer series paper. There is a sheet in there, the large 2 sheets like this, that actually has an image that you can use with the punch, and it punches out all those pieces all at one time. So you're welcome, of course, to stamp these images and then punch them out, but I wanted you to see that you can punch them out. Wow, look at the back side of that. So cute. You can punch them all out at one time, just like that. And that's what we're going to use for our card today. So I love that. I love that when Stampin' designs their punches and their designer series paper to complement each other. It does save time if you are short on time when you're making a card. Okay, let's start pulling in our pieces here and doing our assembly. So I'm just going to fold on that score line, and I'm going to use my foam folder to make this fold crisp so my card stays folded nicely. Then I'm going to bring in some other pieces and we're going to start gluing some things together. So first I'm going to glue this DSP layer on top of my Balmy blue cardstock. Isn't this gorgeous? I'm going to have to buy more of this paper. I can already tell I'm going to be using it a lot. Oh my goodness. And this is actually a brand new bottle of glue, so I'm being real careful that I don't squirt too much out there. Because when they are brand new, they are ready to go. It doesn't take much pressure to get the glue flowing. Okay, got that. Now, all right, we've got this strip that's 2 inches by 5 inches, and I am going to use a punch on this as well. You don't have to use a punch when you want to do a banner. You can easily do it with your scissors. If you were going to do it with your scissors, I have a recommendation, and that is first you would make the middle cut, and then you would cut from each corner to the top of that first cut. That way your little, what do they call it? The little ends of your banner are even. Because if you just start off cutting like this, if it were me anyway, and I just started cutting and trying to make them the same, I would end up with a banner that was about that long. Because I can't cut it evenly. But today I'm going to save myself some trouble, and I'm going to use this punch. I believe this is a retired punch, but you might have this in your stamping room. So I'm just going to put this in, slide it in. It's 2 inches wide, so it does fit right in there. And I'm going to turn it over because I do like to look at the back and always make sure that I do have my paper all the way into the punch before I punch it out. There we go. And again, look at the back side of that paper. I'm going to have a hard time deciding front or back when I pull out this paper to use it. All right, our little banner is just going to go right here. And let me grab my glue again. And you may have noticed I'm using the same card base that I used in the card that I showed you at the beginning. but I am using some of the different patterns of designer series paper that are in those packs. So you can make a bunch of cards, and although they all are the same layout, they could all be different. There's so many choices. All right, now I think I'm ready to go ahead and glue this on the front of my card. Here we go. Do you think the paper in this suite makes making gorgeous cards very easy? And I don't know, I would probably say that about all of the Stampin' Up! Papers, honestly. Papers are one of my passions. I've always loved the paper. Okay. That is in good shape. Let's go ahead and do the inside of the card. So this, I'm just going to adhere kind of right here to give a little bit of decoration for that inside of the card. I don't know, is it hard for you to just leave the inside white with no stamping or no decoration of any kind? That's hard for me. I don't always stamp something on the inside, but not a sentiment anyway. I don't always stamp a sentiment on the inside, but I will decorate the inside of my cards somehow with either a stamped image or maybe a little piece of the designer series paper. And this is just a tiny bit long. Let me see if I can trim it just a little bit so it's even with the bottom of my cardstock. There we go. There we go. I was being kind of picky there, but you know, beautiful. Now we want to glue that on the inside. So how about envelopes? Do you decorate your envelope? That's another, it's a rule I have, no naked envelopes. So sometime I guess I just should do a video and show you the different ways that I do decorate my envelopes. Sometimes it's stamping, but sometimes it's paper. There are a lot of different options. But tell me what you think about that. Is that something you do? Do you decorate your envelopes as well? And if so, how do you do it? Okay, there. We've got that all together. Now, we just need to decorate it. So let me grab my little die cut and embossed piece right here. And I'm going to glue this on. And let's see, how do we want to do this? I could put these over here. I like to play with things. I like to dry fit, that's what I was trying to say, the different things before I actually put them together. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do it the same way I did it before. I am not feeling very adventurous. Now, this is fun because you could punch out anything from the designer series paper with any of those cute patterns. So you could punch out a bunch of hearts and all of them be different. That's probably a good idea. Something that I might do, like when I'm watching TV or something, just get out some pieces, little strips of designer series paper and start punching and just put all the little hearts in a little envelope. And they're ready to go. I like to have some things ready. So when I am going to create a card, I don't have to start from scratch. I like shortcuts, I guess. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I like shortcuts. And I'm just going to slip this in right here. A little higher. There we go. And then I just put a little glue on this one. There we go. And we're going to slip it in there too. And you notice that these leaves, or you'll see it when I put my other card back out here at the end. These leaves are a different color than the other leaves. Some of them on the designer series paper are in the mint macaron, and some of them, I don't know why all of a sudden my glue, there it is. There we go. What was I saying? Oh yes, some of them are in mint macaron, and some of them are in old olive, and that's what these are. So that is also a color that comes up in the designer series paper, the old olive, and it's really nice as well. All right, let's put this on with some dimensionals. We haven't done anything to pop something up on our card, so let's do the popping. And 4 dimensionals there. Let's take the backing off. Here we go. One more. Awesome. There we go. Let's put it right here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then let's put this right about here. It's so cute. So I am going to put, this end is going to hang off. This end is going to sit on what's already popped up. So I am just going to put a dimensional right here. That's the side where I didn't like what oh, you know what? I just put that on the wrong side. What? I'm just losing my mind today, apparently. There we go. It's a good thing I hadn't pressed that down real hard. That's the side I want. Okay. Oh, send help immediately, please. Send help. Oh. My goodness. So one thing I did want to mention to you guys again was that you can find the link to my Facebook page. Jump over there. I do lives over there. The other thing I post over there is announcements for events that I do online. Like we do a Zoom craft and chat every month. I do a Zoom mystery stamping every month. So if those kinds of events interest you, be sure and go over and check out my Facebook page. Because I always put events on there and you can respond to that, and then I will send you the Zoom link and you can join us. All right. Oh, one more thing. One more thing. How about these? I love these. These also come in the suite. These are the adhesive-backed sequins, and I think I'm going to use blue ones. So there's one sheet that has smaller ones and one sheet that has larger ones. So I'm going to grab first a larger one and just put it right here. And then let's do a couple of smaller ones. One here, and let's do one here. Now we're done. Now we're done. I can't believe I almost forgot the bling. So there we are, card number 1, card number 2. Which one do you like better? And as I said before, this paper is so fantastic. You could make many, many, many variations of this card just with those 2 packs of paper. So this one or this one, left or right? Let me know. And I hope you enjoy this card, and I do hope that your 2023 is off to a great start. Okay, I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.